Welcome to this video for the Mystery Rover. I call it the Mystery Rover because when my friend and I bought it, we had no idea what we were buying really. All we knew was that it was a genuine early Series 1 car, T-Reg. That's its original front dealer plate. It's still got its original rear dealer plate as well. It's an original Series 1 non-sunroof shell, which is pretty rare, and it came from the factory as a manual V8, which is quite desirable. It doesn't have the front mouth in it either. The other aspects of this car was that it had been modified, but we had no idea what really had been done, only what we could tell by our eyes, which is why we got it up and running, put it on the rolling road, so we now know it's got genuine 251 brake horsepower. We don't know how it's achieving it, but we found some paperwork in the car to suggest it had a Rovercraft or Rovertech engine. This is the paperwork I was referring to. So that's the original Leyland Cars Supercover Handbook Portfolio car passport with the reg. Some old documents in there, but really not a lot. But this was the interesting bit. One owner, can't read that, 4.9 Rover, and then built by Rovercraft. There are reasons to believe that that is genuine, but I shall expand on that now. Here is the engine. What's the first thing about it? It's fuel injection. It's the original 3.5 block, that the number of it matches the copy of the logbook we've got, but it's definitely been quite extensively modified. The original carbs have been replaced with a hotwire fuel injection manifold with the hotwire fuel rail, coolant pipes. Still got a SD1 type front cover and front water pump. Massive Rovercraft style tubular headers, which are 4 into 2 into 1. The whole thing is being run through this really rather beautifully insulated and terminated wiring loom, and controlled by Motronic standalone ECU. In here it's unattached because I had to fiddle around with it to get it to fire up, but basically we had it on the rolling road yesterday. It made 251 brake horsepower and 280 something pound-feet of torque. I think I'll put a picture up of the rolling road printout now. So it's a very healthy engine. It's got standard, or what appears to be a standard, Rover 5-speed gearbox. It's got modified brakes. It's got the big jag brakes up front, and the rear drums have been cut and grooved, which I'd not seen before. Underneath we have very little rust in the front at all. I mean, it's really unbelievably remarkable. Anything you see here is just surface. Up underneath the battery trays is perfect. All of these little seams which so often rot and go are perfect. Even the little 90-degree brackets for the front underbelly panel are perfect. It's really bizarre. Never had an SD1 that was this good in terms of rust. The whole shell is brilliant. There is a couple of areas which I'll go into now, but on the whole, for a non-sunroof early shell, it's pretty remarkable. So under this side, again, radiator support mount, perfect. All of that with its little 90-degree return, perfect. That front apron, perfect. Up under the front edge of the front wing, perfect. There's not a jot of filler in this car anywhere. There's a tiny bubbling there. All 4 wheel arches and wings are original to the car. All the spot welds check out, everything's really nice. All 4 arches again have been really skillfully rolled to take the bigger wheels and tyres. So it's the original welded lip and it's just been hammered all the way around. Really nicely done. But that wing is just gorgeous. Where it comes down, where they're usually gone under here, that's all really good. You can see in there, or I will show you there. Same story at the back. Perfect wheel arch lip. The sills both sides all the way along. There's no filler in that. That is all the original metal and just has surface rust on it. Got a return in there, it's all perfect. The sills, the full length, both sides, perfect. This rear apron has a hole in it, but it's not a big deal. That just wants chopping out and that section welding in. The boot floor is one of the best I've ever seen. It's all been coated with this oily goop, but the tie down strap bracket, which usually blows out the inner arch there, that's all mint. Still got the drain plug hole plugged on that side. That side obviously is gone. This is not rust. This is the remnants of glue and the fabric that was glued in as some sort of interior carpet. But yeah, whole boot floor, really nice, no rust. Still got loads of grease on it, or cavity wax stuff. Under the back, that whole seam is perfect. Under here, tie down strap, what's linkage bracketry, everything is really good. The only bad bit of rust at the back of the car is the top of this rear lamp panel, but because the rest of the lamp panel is so nice, I would suggest just picking this apart at that seam and welding the lip of another one in, which isn't too difficult and will save you a lot of time and effort having to unpick that. And it's such a waste to try and disturb that bottom seam when it really doesn't need it. It's got genuine Series 1 tailgate, which is actually in really rather good condition. All of the supporting structure under here is good, the rear lip is good. Bolted to it is a genuine rubber Vitesse rear spoiler. It's not a fiberglass copy. You can tell it's an original because it's got the little drain channels in it. When you squeeze it, it compresses. It's just been painted with something. It actually looks quite good. Rear window has been replaced with polycarbonate sheet with loads of holes drilled in it, which is quite annoying, so that's why it's taped up. Rear arch this side, rolled, really nice. Bottom of the wheel arch, perfect, no filler, really good sill. Same again up here, really good lower corner, perfect wheel arch. It's insane that this car is so good. Scuttle panel, it has tape on it, but it's just really surface rust, no nasty rot. Even the manifold opening for the vent into the cabin, kind of tiny little bit of rust there, but the rest of it is lovely. That is just protecting that hole, that's not because of rust or anything. So really, again, another common problem area on SD1s. It's all really lovely. What else have we got? Battery trays from the top, perfect, no filler, no nothing. That area, lovely. We do have a little hole at this turret here, but I mean it's little, just wants a 10p piece patch welded on. In a minute I'll get a torch and I'll show the turrets from the underside because they are really nice. All the tin work across the front is lovely. Somebody's drilled holes through there, not sure why. Additional cooling maybe. Strut top this side, again original factory sticker, perfect. It's so lovely, this car. Same again here, not a hint of rust. And the battery tray under there, I've had the battery out numerous times and it's great. So in terms of rust, it looks really good, apart from, and I'll get a torch to show you one bit of the front. Okay, so far the only rust that needs repair is one tiny patch to the top of that turret, rear apron that side, the top of the boot opening. Then we get on to probably the worst bit of the car. At some point the brake servo and master cylinder must have leaked, because it's rotted out. If I can show you down there where the rear wheel well meets the bulkhead. The benefit of this car being mostly stripped is that shouldn't be too much of an issue. It just wants all of that chopped out down to there. The chassis rail itself is lovely. I don't know why it's decided to do this. I can only imagine it's corrosion from leaking fluid, but it's hold it down there as well. So really, brake servo needs to come out. That needs to be chopped out. Rebuild the bulkhead first and then put that section back in. But this car has no interior in it at the moment, which makes this repair rather easier than it otherwise would have been. You can't really see it because it's all up there, but some rather fetching alloy pedals for you, a nice alloy gear knob as well. There is rot in the floors because the car was sat with water in it, so the drain plugs for it was actually Rover's paint system. The little plugs have all disintegrated and rotted, so it'll need a patch in there. There's a bit of surface rust here, but nothing bad. This side of the floor pan I think is okay. That side we have a hole there, we have frilliness and a hole there and another one up there, but you can still buy, I think, the whole boot floor, or sorry, the whole cabin floor pressings from Rimmer Brothers for 104 quid. So you can get sections ready to just plate in from above. So really you've probably got a day's worth of welding on this thing and then it's rust free. The car originally had brown trim. It still has its original brown dashboard, B pillar covers, C pillar cover, both sides, brown Series 1 steering wheel. But there will be a complete, I think it's a complete, apart from the dashboard, complete Series 1.5 caramel interior. This is the driver's seat and it has some little fag burny bits in it, but the rest of the interior is mint, and I'll put a video up of that in or section of the video for that as well. Interior wise, the car originally had brown trim, but I've found, or me and my mate have found, a really nice caramel interior with rear headrests, which is quite unusual. Rear bench is mint. These are just marks where it sat in the workshop with stuff on top of it. There's no damage to the stitching, no fading, no tears. Lovely, just needs a good clean. This is the dash, the Series 1 non-trim type dash with glove boxes. The rubber buffer to the windscreen is nice. Again, there's a couple of tiny impression marks, but it hasn't split the vinyl, so with a heat gun and a gentle massage that will come out, I'm sure. Door cards, electric window type door cards, Series 1, really nice condition. Done what all SD1s do, which is the vinyl is delaminated slightly here, but they are basically really lovely door cards. Even the driver's one, the back edge, all the pegs are there and it hasn't fallen apart, just needs a little bit of glue on the vinyl. So very nice door cards indeed. Center console, much the same. No holes drilled in it for a mobile phone holder, bit dusty, wants a good clean. Various bits of interior trim. That's the dash top for the instrument housing. That's the fuse box cover off the side. I don't know why it's red, needs a good clean. What are they? A, B, C, D pillar trims, even recovered. They're nice. A pillar, all the rest of it nice. Front seat, this is the front passenger seat. Again, lovely, no tears, no fag burns, no nothing, ready to go. It's really only that driver's seat, which, as I mentioned earlier, it
does, the back is fine, that's just dirt, but it does have these tiny fag burns in it, which is annoying because otherwise that was a perfect seat. And I think I'm going to keep that steering wheel. It will come with a standard Series 1 brown one. It's all the original Series 1 doors with the little weather strip along the bottom. Driver's door, actually really nice. Rear passenger door, the skin has gone here and here, and at the bottom rear corner, so that really wants skinning. I think the frame is okay, or maybe not, I don't know, borderline. You could probably patch it, but if you can find another door, that'd probably be better. Tailgate I've already shown is really actually very good for a Series 1 because they're very hard to find. This door again probably wants some attention, but it kind of depends what you want to do with the car. You could just spend a day welding this up and you could probably get away with an MOT on it, I don't know yet. That door, that's actually really nice door. As I said earlier, it's got the big Jag brakes with the adapter plate between the hub and the disc, and then it's got the big 4-pot AP calipers. Don't know whether that's working. On the back it's got those grooved drums. I'll put a picture up. Not really a lot more to say. I'm not going to start it up here because it's so goddamn loud, but I'll put some videos of it on the dyno so that you can see. Anyway, it's a really, really nice prospect, that proven 250 horsepower, really not much rot at all. Unbelievable that it's as rust free as it is. I think it's been Z-barted from new because it has all the little, or maybe not Z-bart, but something similar, protection plugs in here and here, which explains why the sills are so good. So yeah, grab yourselves a project which you won't lose money on and which is actually quite a rare car. In terms of cooling, it's got an all-rads radiator. I don't 100% know, but I suspect it's probably a triple core rather than the original twin core. The car originally would have had a viscous coupling on the water pump and a fan. This car at some point did have twin electric fans. They've now been removed, so it will need a fan shoving on it. It has a remote oil cooler in the front, a proper genuine Mocal one with the Mocal sandwich plate down there with the pipes. And there's a look at that lovely manifold again.